Hi, Verbling. My name's Michaela, and I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And today we're talking about the internet. We'll be having a discussion and using an article to support our discussion today. Ciao, welcome to class.
Hello, teacher.
Good to see you again.
Hey, you had seen me.
I think so.
I have first been here.
This is your first time?
First time for you.
Okay. Well, then welcome. I must be mixing your picture up with somebody else's. Someone else had a very similar picture.
Oh, I know.
It's nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from China.
Excellent.
I'm from China.
And how long have you been with Verbling?
About 2 weeks.
Awesome. Well, I hope you're loving it here. And if you have any comments or questions, you can always send me a message on Verbling or on Facebook, and I'll put my Facebook name in the chat box for you.
Okay, sure.
All right. And Dharma, welcome to class.
Hi. Hello, Michaela.
Hi, Dharma. I don't think I've had you in class before, have I?
Yeah, this is the first time I join your class.
Awesome. Well, it's good to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Indonesia.
Indonesia. And how long have you been with Verbling?
I think about 1 or 2 months, I think.
Great. I'm glad I'm finally getting to have you in class.
Okay.
Amp, welcome to class.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Awesome. It's good to see you again. What have you been up to recently?
Well, studying English, you have classes most of the time on weekend, and Sunday is my free day.
Yeah,
you
totally.
Yeah.
Schedules
And
don't
now
always
we
match
have
up.
Yeah.
All right. And Valerio.
Hello, Michaela.
Hi. I think this is the first time for us, right?
Yes, this is first time we met.
Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Nice to meet you. I'm from the southern of Italy.
Very nice. Well, it's good to have you in class.
Thank you very much.
What part?
From Naples.
Very cool. I have another student from Naples. He's excellent. Maybe you guys will meet.
I hope so.
All right. And how long have you been with Verbling, Valerio?
I've been with Verbling 1 week, more or less.
Wow. Okay. Well, I hope you're enjoying yourself. And I already mentioned to the other students that I put my Facebook name. So if you have any comments or questions, you can message me there, or of course on Verbling as well. I have an inbox where you can send me a message.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so today we're talking about the internet, and we'll have a brief discussion while I put the article we're reading today in the chat box. You can open that article, load it up, and look it over while we talk a little bit about your internet habits. So my first question for you guys is, how many hours a day or a week are you on the internet? Valerio, will you tell us first how many hours a day or a week about would you say you're on the internet?
Okay, I spend more or less 7 hours a day on internet.
Wow. That's a lot.
I work, yes, I work with internet, so that's my job. I cannot live without internet. I cannot go to a country if there is no internet connection. I think it's like you, more or less. You work with internet as well.
Yes.
and it's an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Really, you cannot go to a country where there is not a good internet connection. So some countries are off for me.
Yeah, I know. It seems extreme, but I feel the same way sometimes. So you use internet mainly for work, you said, right?
Yeah, only for work, because when I
Only for
want
work.
to, yes, because of my job, when I don't work, I prefer to do other than internet activities. So I prefer to go to, I don't know, go to the forest, have fun with friends on the beach. Uh, I prefer to stay out, how to say, far from the computer.
Understandable. That's my problem is I work online, but I read news online and I watch TV online and I check my Facebook online and I update my pictures online and it gets a little heavy sometimes. It gets a little too much.
Understand very much.
Dharma, how many hours a day or a week are you on the internet?
Well, I think I can say internet is a large part of my life because I work in an internet company right now, in the
Wow.
internet payment company. Yeah, and then uh, at work I always use internet, and then after office hours, my entertainment is also internet, YouTube, and uh, for playing and others. Yeah, so I don't really watch TV right now.
I see. Yeah, I'm in the same situation. Work
Yeah,
online, play online. I do
Yeah,
everything online.
we are all internet addicted.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. More and more. It's a common situation. All right. Ciao. Tell us,
Hi.
how many hours a day or week do you spend on the internet?
My job is internet related too, and I think I online uh, I always online, I think, because when I off work and I go home and I usually turn on my computer and my phone is always online, and I think so I'm internet addicted, I think.
And what are the things? You said you work online. What else do you do online?
Uh, I look up for informations and ask questions, find answers, and communicate with friends, and maybe sometimes watch TV. And I didn't use Facebook because our country blocked it, you know. Yeah.
All right.
Also, Google is blocked.
Oh, wow. I don't know what I would do without Google. Google is
Yeah.
a big part of my life sometimes.
Yes, but some of us use VPN or some other technicals to use Google. So
Yeah, there are substitutes and
yeah,
ways around.
yeah.
All right. Amp, tell us, how many hours a day or week do you spend on the internet?
Well, around 10 hours a day. Um, I usually use the internet for searching information or to be in class or to have exchange with people that live abroad. Yes, usually it's 10 hours at least a day. And if I don't have the computer on, I have the internet on my cell phone, so I am always with the internet
Wow, you
connection.
connect in many different ways.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that last class. We talked about cell phones and how we're always connected via our cell phones.
yeah. It's a
Okay.
big tool.
Mm. And Adela, Can you tell us how many hours a day or week you spend on the internet?
I think all soft without these hours I sleep because yes, because in the smartphone is saying to I have the internet in the smartphone, and I receive emails at the moment, or WhatsApp, or different. I teach with online in the intranet or with a platform all day in different engine or
Like search engines?
different PC or laptop or smartphone
Devices.
devices. Okay.
Yeah. So you spend all your time online, but sometimes it's your phone, sometimes it's your computer.
Yes. Sometimes I turn off, don't receive the smartphone, but it's
healthy.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so it sounds like we all have a very similar story. We spend many hours a day online, sometimes working. All of us, it seems, have work to do online in addition to other habits like YouTube and Facebook and Google and all the other sites. And I like Valerio's comment that we all need a therapist to help us through this addiction.
Maybe
Totally.
Verblink can organize for us a session with a therapist.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of funny. We could have an online therapist if we wanted, right?
So there's no way.
Yeah. We're totally doomed. We're doomed to this internet fate. All right. So I'm going to start the screen share. And we're going to read a little bit in this document today and then discuss. So the title of our document is The Web at 25, Hugely Popular and Viewed as a Positive Force. And this picture is a picture of the 1992 world's first web page. So let's read the first two paragraphs and then have a little more discussion. Adela, will you read the first one for us?
For something that's become so ubiquitous, ubiquitous in our lives, the World Wide Web is just a youngster. I don't have
a youngster.
Sorry. Youngster. It was only 25 years ago that Tim Berners-Lee first created a rudimentary information retrieval system that rely on the internet. Its science exploded into a primary means by which we learn, work and connect. To put things in perspective, the film Die Hard is older than the World Wide Web.
Thank you very much. And paragraph number 2, Amp, will you read?
Okay. How far have we come and how much impact has internet connectivity made in our life? The Pew Research Center conducted a sweeping survey to coincide with the web's 25th anniversary, which you can read in full, but we've summed up a few key takeaways.
Thank you very much. So on this article, we're going to read about a study that was done and some of the results and what we can learn from this study. But in these first few paragraphs, they introduced some information like the web is really only 25 years old, and most of us can still remember before the web was popular. So I'm 24, I think. I'm 24 years old, and I can still remember a time when internet was not really that common. And so in my childhood, I have memories of being outside a lot and playing a lot, but that is changing. It's changing a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys remember, if you remember anything, from the time before internet was popular. Valerio, can you tell us a little bit about what you remember before the internet was popular?
Well, before the internet was what's okay.
Valerio, are you there?
Yes.
Are you hearing an echo?
No, wait.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, Valerio, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you tell
Okay.
us about what you remember from the time before
Okay.
internet?
Okay. Okay. For the time before internet was popular, I remember. I couldn't copy from a connected device when I was at school because there weren't cell phone. So we all students, we cannot copy from internet, and that was a very bad. Uh, mm, it was very bad for us. The other and another thing I remember, it's when you have to make a research, you have to buy a book or go to a library or ask your parents to access to the an encyclopedia, how do you say, a paper,
Encyclopedia?
encyclopedia. Then I remember, um, yeah, when I remember when Skype was invented. I received a lot of calls from Spain, from England, of people, of curious people of this new tool, and I received a lot of calls from people I didn't know. And now I don't receive any call anymore.
All right. Thank you very much, Valerio.
Thank you.
Dharma, tell us, do you remember much from the time before internet, and what do you remember?
I think before internet was popular, we watched TV all the time, and before internet was popular, when I was a kid, I think I prefer to play football with my friends. I think nowadays kids prefer to play iPad or iPhone with their friends. And I think before internet was popular, when we do research, we want to search something, we go to the library and open many books.
Yeah, books were more popular.
Yeah.
Okay. Chow, tell us a little bit about memories you have before the internet was really popular.
Okay. I have own I own my computer and in my childhood, and that is an offline computer. I can connect to internet, and you always have communicate using the offline environment, and maybe send your friend mails, and yes, and that there's newspapers and magazines I always watch. But when the internet is popular, I think I no longer need much magazines or newspapers. Yeah.
Yeah, those things are becoming obsolete.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Amp, tell us what you remember about the time before internet.
Well, you have to pay expensive bills of your telephone if you want to talk with someone that live in another part of the world. Now it is so easy with the tools that we have, like Hangouts or Skype. It's for free. So that is one of the changes are, and when you were at the school, you don't have any choice. You have to go to the library and to look up the information that you needed. You don't
Mhm.
have you don't have the option now. You're just at home and with in a few seconds you have a lot of information about any theme or subject.
Yeah, pretty convenient.
Exactly.
Adela, what do you remember about the time before internet?
I remember before internet, before the hard drive, because the first computer is with MS DOS. This is you can put the operative system. You can put the program. You can is not a hard drive. In I think in the 19th is when in Spain I start to use internet, but is very slow. Is with the phone line. Is not fast connection. Is not Wi-Fi. This has changed a lot because to read a page, a web page, is you need a lot of time. No, you put the website to charge this loading. Is
Mhm.
you can to do other things because it's the possibility to this the computer work is very uh, different to today.
Mhm.
Nowadays is very fast.
Mhm.
Is another thing.
Yeah, totally different than when it was first made.
Yes.
All right. So in these
What
first two
what
paragraphs,
do you
oh, go ahead.
remember, Michaela? Michaela, what
What
do you
do I
remember
remember?
before it? Yes.
I remember, let's see, I didn't really learn how to type very well until I was probably in high school. So I remember writing a lot more, like just everyday activities. I would write things down. People might have a journal or something. And now I almost never write. The only thing I write is a grocery list, maybe, and everything else I do on a document or in an email or something like that. And I just remember being outside a lot. I'm not outside anymore because I'm always inside. I do everything inside because that's where internet is. Internet is inside. So that's where I spend most of my time now. And I think those are my two biggest memories. Just being outside more and writing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
What
remember
is
one more thing.
grocery?
Ooh,
What
comment.
is grocery list? You said you had a
A
you only write grocery
grocery
list
lists.
now.
Grocery lists. Yeah.
What is grocery? Grocery?
Does anybody else already know what a grocery list is?
Mhm.
Grocery
Yes,
list.
the list of things that you are going to buy at the supermarket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually it's a list of foods that I need. So, milk and eggs. I make a
Bread.
list of those things before I go to the supermarket.
Shopping
Can
list,
you,
right?
Uh-huh.
can you
Shopping
write
list is a synonym. Should I
Okay,
can you
write
so
write it?
the word grocery?
yes, please. Oh, got
There we go. Okay. So that's a grocery list. And it's similar to a shopping list, but it's a little more specific in the way that a shopping list could be for anything. You could put chairs and a bed. You can put items on your shopping list, but grocery is mainly concerned with food items.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem. Good question. Okay, any other comments before we talk about the vocabulary we just read?
I remember sending letters and going to post office.
Yeah, letters. People really don't write many letters anymore. Definitely. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the vocabulary. We have some pretty advanced vocabulary here, like the word ubiquitous. Does anybody know that word already?
General. General?
General, okay, that's one synonym. What else?
To install in our life, no?
Uh-huh.
Or to have part, to be part.
Mm-hmm. So something common in our lives, something we're part of. Another good synonym might be widespread. It's something that's so common that almost everybody has it or does it. All right, and what about youngster? Same sentence. What is a youngster?
A young person.
Uh-huh, a young person. So we don't use this word ending very frequently, but every once in a while you can see it on a word. So a youngster would be a person that's young.
Okay.
And let's see. Any other questions from these paragraphs about vocabulary?
Retrieval system.
Retrieval? Here we go. So it's an information retrieval system. What does retrieval mean?
Yes, what does retrieval mean?
Good question. Does anybody else know?
No.
It's like when you look for something and you have got an answer for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's when you get something and then bring it back. And I think a better way to explain this might be using the name of a dog. Does everybody know what a golden retriever is? It's a kind of dog.
Yes.
No.
Well, it's a kind of dog that's famous for going to get things and bring it back. So when you throw a ball, the dog runs, gets the ball, and then returns it to you. So they retrieve the item.
It's called retrieval dog.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a dog that's famous for this, but that's a good image to have in your head when you think of the word retrieve. There's an item out in space somewhere. You get it, and then you bring it back to you. So when they talk about information retrieval, the information is online, and you go to a website to get this information, and then you can take it back and use it however you want. Put it in an email or a paper or anything.
Okay.
All right. Any other vocabulary questions so far? If you guys think of more vocabulary questions, you're also welcome to put them in the chat box, and we will get to them in a bit. So the next paragraph is one result from the study, and I'm going to ask Chao to read this one for us.
Okay. Internet adoption skyrocketed. In 1995, only 14% of American adults used the Internet. Today, it's 87%. The figure represents the highest percentage percentage captured in a Pew Research Center poll since we began measuring it in 1995. The report says a similar trend line exists for broadband adoption, which went from only a fraction of adopters in 1995 to almost universal adoption in America today. The adoption story itself is amazing and hardly even duplicated in world history. Technology has not deployed this fast, ever, said Lee Rainey, the director of the Pew Research Center's Internet project. Okay.
Thank you very much. That was a
That's
tough but good paragraph. So, first let's talk about the difference between broadband connection and dial-up. So we've got two kinds of internet, broadband and dial-up. What is broadband internet?
Fast speed.
It's fast. And it's probably, I think it's the most common kind of internet today. What about dial-up? What is dial-up internet?
Yes.
Is with the phone, no? In the phone connection, in the...
Yeah, you use your phone connection.
Yes.
And it was more popular when internet first started, but it's not as popular anymore. And if any of you are still unsure of what the difference is, the dial-up internet, when you start it, it makes this weird noise and it takes a long time to boot up. And it makes this noise that's like, I can't even really describe it, but it's this terrible noise that was common originally, but not so much anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys have any other questions on this paragraph before we discuss it a little bit?
And if you connect internet in the dial-up, in this moment you cannot to call is a problem. I remember.
Ah, yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, so you tie up your phone line. If you're on dial-up internet, you can't make phone calls.
Yes,
Yes.
or you call or you connect.
Wow, I forgot about that until just now.
And it's very expensive. You're using the dialogue adoption every day.
Really?
It's charged for hours or for minutes.
Ah, so a different way to charge. Interesting.
Today you have free connection, no? Or every time, but the first this is a problem because you connect a half hour only to browse page, but it's very short because it's very expensive.
Yeah, if I had to pay for the internet I used, oh my gosh, I'd make no money.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about different countries, because the results here are, it's a study about the US, so it talks more about the US, but I'd like to know what you guys think as well about where you come from. So in the US, it says a little more than 70%, or actually it says today 87% are people who can access the broadband internet connection. Adela, will you estimate for us, do you think it's similar in Spain or different?
About the
Yeah, what percentage of people do you think can access the internet?
I think it's possible to connect in everywhere because you can connect with the smartphone as a router. In the towns they are Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. In the restaurant or in the cafes, you can hotels is not problem. shopping
All
center.
right, so it's somewhere close to 100% of people.
The percentage
Yeah, the
about
percentage.
about mobile phone is around 80%. People has connection internet on the mobile, and if you can add, I think 90% people has connection more or less. It depends to the device, but yes.
All right.
I don't know any person don't have connection.
Yeah. Amp, what do you think? Tell us about the percentage of people near you who have internet connection.
Well, I think the percentage it could be 80, 90% here at the city, but I don't have any idea about the rural towns. If they have a better connection, because sometimes they they have some problems with the connection, and I don't know if they are have a broadband connection there. It's a little difficult, I think, because they have no access to some towns that are very far from the city. Yeah.
All right. Chow,
Hi.
tell us a little
Hi.
bit. What percentage of people can access the internet near you?
Okay. According to my Google search, China's the people who access the internet in China about half, maybe less than 50%.
All right.
And about it, yes, it's
And where do
about
you?
500 million, about
Oh
500
my
million people.
gosh. That's so many people.
Yeah, yeah.
So, who do you think are the people who don't access internet on a regular basis?
Some people live in small country, a small town, and has no internet access, or some people can't afford it, maybe.
Do you know
And some
anyone who
old
doesn't
people,
access it?
no, I don't know. Uh, I I have no touch with them. Maybe I have some. Maybe I have some far relevance. Who is old, and they don't know how to access the internet. They are too old and old-fashioned. Maybe.
Yeah, generational differences.
Yes.
David, welcome to class.
Hi, Michaela. Good to see you.
Good to have you. So tell us a little bit about the people near you, and what percentage do you think access the internet?
Okay, I look in Google and the percentage in my country is about 77 or 78% of people that use internet, but not everyone has an internet connection in the house because they can afford it. And it's usual here for some people to go to coffee internets. Is the place where you buy for an hour or 2 hours and you connect to internet.
All right. Thank you very much. Dharma, can you give us an estimate of the figure, the people who connect to internet near you?
I've just also searched Google. I think it's around 80 million right now from 250 million, so it's quite low, still around only 30% of the population. Yeah, because I am also I come from a small city in Indonesia, so there are some cities, small cities that is still the internet connection is still very expensive and very slow. So the internet adoption in small cities is not quite good as the big cities.
And do you know anyone who does not have access to internet, or at least not on a regular basis?
Right now, no, because right now I live in quite big city in Indonesia. But I think in my hometown there are several people. My neighbors probably doesn't quite access internet that much.
All right. And Valerio, tell us how many people in Italy can
Yes.
or cannot access.
Well, I don't need to check on Google because this is a problem I feel very much in Italy. In Italy, only the 60% of people have access to internet. Now, I don't mean the access, but they go to internet regularly, only the 60% each month. This is a shame for a Western country. I'm waiting for my stupid government to resolve this problem, but now it's years of empty speech with no any as you say with no any real change, real action.
So it's a problem for the Italian people that there's not as much access to internet?
Not for the Italian people because of the yes, it's a problem for business and for people, for private people. But many people don't know internet because the government never invested on this new market. You see, Italy is one of the worst, has one of the worst connection in Europe. Below Spain, below Portugal, below Greece.
Wow. So it seems like it's something that you've had to deal a lot with.
Yes, this is one of my biggest problem. I'm trying to cope. You see, I always sign petitions. I do what I can do for this.
All right. So the next part of the article, there's a little graph that says the percentage of adults who access the internet via broadband. And it just shows you in the year 2000, it was about 4%, maybe 5% of people. And then in 2013, it is above 70%. So it shot up so quickly, really quickly. And we're going to read the paragraph below that where it says we're more reliant on the internet than ever, and it's our hardest tech tool to give up. So, David, will you read that for us?
Sure, Michaela. We are more reliant on the internet than ever, and it's our hardest tech tool to give up. We get antsy when the internet goes out. 53% of internet users says it would be very hard to give up, compared with 38% in 2006. In fact, more people say they will have a hard time getting rid of the internet than they would giving up to it. These days, so much great television streams across the internet that it makes sense.
Yes. So it's pretty difficult to go any time without internet. Like we already talked about, it's like it's considered a necessity now, not just something good to have, but something necessary. Do you guys have any vocabulary questions from this paragraph before we discuss how necessary it is to us?
Yeah, getting right.
Nancy?
Kayla?
Yeah?
Yeah, getting right.
Getting rid of?
Yeah, sorry, getting rid of. Mhm.
Excellent. It's a good phrasal verb. Does anybody know the definition for getting rid of already?
Deal with.
Huh?
Deal with.
Deal with. That's one way to put it. There's a
Throw
little
away.
more, though.
Throw away.
Throw away. Throw away is a great synonym for this phrasal verb. So it says that people would have a hard time getting rid of or throwing away the internet. So it means that people can't stop. They can't stop using it. Getting rid of is when you stop something.
Yes. Awesome.
And what about the word antsy in the first sentence? What does antsy mean?
Anxious.
Mm-hmm. Anxious.
Yeah.
Nervous. Something like that. Okay, so what happens when you lose internet connection? Valerio, can you tell us if you're doing something and all of a sudden you lose internet connection, what do you do?
It's easy. This is one of the best things I can, because when I don't have internet connection, I can go to the beach, I can go out with friends. So this is sometimes it happens, and it's a good news. It's a good. I like when it happens.
Oh, that's so funny. So it's kind of like a break for you.
Yes.
And you throw up your hands. Oh, sorry. I couldn't do it. No internet. Sorry.
Exactly. I call my client, my customer, and say I cannot do anything. It's internet is it's down, and I go out with friends.
Oh, that's excellent.
And it's not my fault. The best.
Yeah. All right. Dharma, what do you do when the internet goes out?
Well, I think I wish I live near beach so I can go to the beach. But when usually if I don't have the internet, I'll just read books.
Okay. And if you're in the middle of something on the internet and the internet connection fails, you just start to do something else, or do you get a little nervous?
Actually, yeah, I will get a little angry usually because probably there's a work or there's something important or something that I perceive important, because sometimes it's not really important in the internet. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's can make you a little upset.
Uh,
David, what happens to you when your internet connection fails?
Yeah, the most of the time I get upset. I don't know, because I am so accustomed to use internet most of the time. Just
Mhm.
not for the laptop. It's for networks, social networks like WhatsApp
Mhm.
and Facebook, and yeah, a little upset, and I look the solution, the connect. I connect again the Wi-Fi. I check the cable that the cable is okay. I call the company.
All right, so you're
Like that.
tireless. If your internet connection goes out, you're like, "Oh, I have to fix this," and so you
Yeah,
set to fixing the problem.
yeah. If it's something important, yeah, I have to fix that. Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks. Chow, what do you do when your internet connection goes out?
My situation is similar to David. When the connection down, I got anxious, maybe, and I wait with the why for fix it.
Mhm.
With someone fix it.
Mhm.
I encounter this case once, and it because the weather and made the line broken. So
Ooh.
I had wait for many hours. In that time, I just read some books and expecting the connection will resume sooner. Yes.
Mhm. All right, so wasting your time doing something else while you're waiting for your internet connection to come back.
Yes.
Amp, what happens to you when your internet connection fails?
If I'm in the middle, for example, I said what a bummer, but I try to switch so fast to my another connection. I have two ISP, so hopefully one of them have to work.
Ah, you've got backup.
Yep. Yeah.
Very nice. And Adela, what do you do when your internet connection fails?
Um, I have problems in the beach house because it's a village, a very small village, and I need to connect with a smartphone because the Wi-Fi is not possible. I don't have problem because I connect with the telephone line, the smartphone.
All right, so you just switch devices. Great.
Yes.
So, when my internet goes out, I panic. I definitely panic because frequently I'm working, maybe I'm in class. It has happened before that I'm in the middle of class and all of a sudden, for seemingly no reason, my internet connection drops off and I get kicked out of class and I panic. I freak out. I think, oh my God, what's wrong? I check the cable, I check the modem, I check my neighbors' houses to ask if they still have internet. And if I can't fix the problem, I usually end up walking down the street to just kind of beg people to if I can use their internet. So it's definitely a stressful situation for me when the internet goes out. Of course, I like to spend time without the internet, but if I'm using the internet and all of a sudden I'm deprived of the internet, I'm trying to find a solution to the problem because it makes me nervous. I feel like I have business and I need to do it, so I really need to get internet connection. All right. We'll read a couple more paragraphs. Any other comments or questions before we go on to the next few paragraphs?
No, we can go ahead.
Okay. So we'll read the next small section. It's just 2 paragraphs. We generally like the internet. And Dharma, will you read the first paragraph there for us?
Nine out of 10 respondents think the internet's been good for them personally, but only 76% say it's good for society. 15% of respondents say they felt the internet was bad for society.
Thank you. And Valerio, the second one?
Anyway, wait a moment. The overwhelmingly. Can you help me? The overwhelmingly. The overwhelmingly positive view applies pretty evenly across all demographic groups. Daniel says the results have been consistent with Pew's previous surveys. They love access to more information. They don't generally feel overwhelmed. People who were telling us that in the early 2000th century are saying very much the same things as newer users are saying now, says.
Okay, so that word is overwhelmingly. And
overwhelmingly.
What's the meaning of the word overwhelmingly?
Hot, very hot. Very... I don't know.
All right, I think you're close. It's not really a positive thing. Does anyone else want to help out? What's the meaning of that word? Overwhelmingly. It's a long one.
Something that causes you like a bad feeling is pushing you.
Kind of like a stress.
Yes.
When you've got like too many things to do and you feel overpowered. You can't do everything at once and you just feel this negative, doomed feeling. All right. We don't have quite enough time to give this section a full response, but I'd like to at least know, do you guys think that the internet is overall a good thing or overall a bad thing? So give me a quick statement, whether it's overall good or overall bad. Adela.
For me, it's over a good inventor because you can talk about people to browse page to have very information at the moment.
All right. And AMP? Overwhelmingly, is it a good thing overall or a bad thing?
I think the internet is a good thing because in the way that we can access to the information so fast and in the way that we can be in touch with people around the world just in a few seconds.
David?
Yeah, I think it's a good tool for connect people, for get information, for learn new things. Yeah, for have fun sometimes. But for the society or for the personal life, it's a little bad because you are like at first you are like addicted and yeah, you spend a lot of time on the surfing and yeah, it's not so good for personal life.
All right. Dharma, what do you think?
Overall is good because we can learn many new things. For example, like this for Blink, we can speak directly to native speaker without meeting in person.
Yeah. And Valerio, overall good or overall bad?
I think it's a wonderful thing because now I'm working in a small house in the countryside of Italy, and my friends all are in a stupid office. So it's a wonderful thing.
Awesome. Sounds beautiful. All right, we've run out of time. I have another class coming up, and that one will focus on some interesting videos, and we're going to get a chance to listen to them and then talk a little bit about them. I hope to see you all again soon, and thank you guys so much for coming and discussing this. I loved the different opinions you guys gave. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Ciao.
See ya.
Thank you,
Bye.
Michael.
Bye, guys.
Bye.